Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another podcast. Today, obviously on sports stuff, me, your host Nick. I got a topic I really want to talk about. Um, just one topic for today. I'm getting back in the whole, grind of getting videos ready, getting streams ready. And today's topic is who will have the best season on their new team, like which individual player. Sorry about that. That was really loud. Um, I mean, there's been a lot of trades. Obviously DeAndre Hopkins with David Johnson, Stephon Diggs. People have been signing. Uh, Atlanta Falcons. Todd Gurley just went to the Atlanta Falcons. The Dolphins have signed 11 or 13 completely new starters to their team this offseason. The Browns have signed people. The Ravens have signed. They trade for Calais Campbell, Jarrell Casey, and AJ Bouye. Both went to the Broncos. I just want to do on both offense and defense the two players that I think will have the biggest impact for their individual teams. So for offense, I'm kind of in between Stephon Diggs and Todd Gurley. Uh, it's very hard. The Atlanta Falcons, they have a very young upcoming offensive line. If the offensive line can develop how we want it to and how the team expects it to, they're gonna ground and pound Todd Gurley. Now I know he has arthritic knees, but the Falcons signed him to a 1 year deal. I don't think they're gonna extend him after that. Both Todd Gurley wants to prove that he can, overcome his arthritic knees and actually be a every down back. And the Atlanta Falcons just want someone who can produce at a very high level. So I think both of them aren't afraid of using him as an every down back. It doesn't matter about his injury history, especially on the Falcons side. That it's a 1 year deal for a top pick. He was a first round pick. I think it was the first overall pick, to be honest with you. I can't remember exactly what pick, but he was the first running back taken off the board back in 2015, and you got him. Now you have a whole offense full of first round picks. You're gonna want to use him as much as you can while you have him. Doesn't matter about his past history. You want to use him for this year because your offense could be really powerful and your defense could be powerful now because they let the play caller from the second half of last season take over the reins for this season as well. And again, from Todd Gurley's side, he's trying to prove to not just himself, not just the Falcons, but every other team in the league, especially the Rams, that he can still be an every down back. His knees aren't going to cause any other problems for him in the future. Because he wants to sign another big deal. That's what every running back wants. They want to sign a 2, 3, 4 year deal worth $50 million. That's the goal. And him getting cut and the Rams taking a $20 million cap hit kind of puts like a damper on the running back market. Like when Nick Chubb and Christian McCaffrey and Derrick Henry all signed long term deals, I think it's going to be more of 1 2 year, like 16 million. Like what Melvin Gordon signed was a 2 year 16 mil, like 10 or 11 mil guaranteed. That's 8 million per year. I think that's what we're going to go more towards in the running back market for a little bit until someone signs an outlandish one and resets it to what it was, 3 years ago, where David Johnson's being paid 13 mil, Todd Gurley, all the time, a whole bunch of running backs again, multi millions of dollars a year. I think for a little bit we're gonna be going through a 1 to 2 year fully guaranteed, very low uh, valued contracts. 8 mil per year, 7 mil per year for 2 years, and then you can stay with us for another 2 years or go somewhere else for a year or two. But I feel like that's what we're moving into after all top five running backs from last season, like the top five paid running backs, aren't on their original teams or they all had a really bad year since they signed the big year contracts. But yeah, Todd Gurley, I feel like he's going to be 1,000 yard rusher, probably going to be around 7 touchdowns, might even be a Pro Bowler. Uh, I just think he's gonna put it all out there, and I think the team's gonna put him all out there because they got nothing to worry about. They're gonna use him for 1 year and probably be like, all right, go on to another team. Todd Gurley's trying to secure the bag for next season, and for the season after, and the season after that. And for defense, this was hard. I wanted to say Kyle Van Noy for the Dolphins because Brian Flores obviously runs the Patriots defense. Kyle Van Noy was one of the best defensive players in the league last year, and now he's basically just doing the exact same role as last season, but for the Dolphins. with Shaq Lawson, an equal secondary, I'd say, maybe better safeties. So Kyle Van Noy was definitely in there. Uh, Calais Campbell, I actually do have in that discussion. But the number one true biggest season for defense for a team, either sign, trade, or re-sign. Sorry about that, or re-sign. I gotta say Kyle Van Noy. I got to. The Dolphins snagged away basically someone who I generally thought should be in the discussion for Defensive Player of the Year last season just because of the impact he had for the Patriots defense. We're going to see the impact that he had on the Patriots defense next season when they don't have Kyle Van Noy and when the Dolphins do. And I think it's very good he went to a team that runs the exact same defense. A lot of zero blitzes, a lot of nickel sets. It's going to be interesting seeing if Kyle Van Noy is a Bill Belichick descendant or a Patriots defense system descendant. And if he's a defense system, if he's only good in that defense, which is what we've seen in his career, he's been only good in the Patriots defense. If Brian Flores is running the exact same defense, which he is, he's going to use Kyle Van Noy in the exact same way. Meaning Kyle Van Noy can continue what he built on in the last 2 or 3 seasons. I forgot how long he's been there. Because he was there originally, left, and he came back, won a few Super Bowls. I can't remember how many. I think he had signed a 3-year contract. It went up, then he went with the Dolphins. But I mean, if Kyle Van Noy can keep at the rate that he was last season, physically, mentally, and like the leadership role he can take on, that he's gonna completely change the Dolphins defense, let alone himself. Honestly, they got Shaq Lawson. They got the cornerback duo of Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. They got Raekwon McMillan and Jerome Baker as inside linebackers. Really good. That's the Dante Hightower. What's the other linebacker? I can't remember the other linebacker, but that's that Dolphins defense is gonna look completely different. I definitely expect them to be drafting either another defensive tackle, but I like Davin Godot and Christian Wilkins. I like that duo. I think they need another D tackle and a defensive ends just for especially defensive end for rotation. But the D tackle, the kind of bolstered Davin Godot's play because I believe he's going to a contract year this season. So if Davin Godot doesn't work, you have a second round defensive tackle, maybe someone like Neville Gallimore, maybe someone like Neville Gallimore. I don't know. You never know. But or Ross Blacklock is another I think those are the only 2 second round D tackles quality wise in this draft. But you never know. Random people. I mean, the Seahawks took a running back 2 years ago, and then L.J. Collier last season. So you never really know about these kind of teams. I think the Dolphins did a lot. I mean, again, they signed 13 potential starters this season, this off season. Eric Flowers and Jordan Howard. That's who it was. Jordan Howard on a 2-year deal. They signed Jordan Howard to a 2-year deal, like I said they would. Like I said, teams are going to start doing 1-2-year deals that are fully guaranteed around $7-8 million and going to reset the market. And then they signed what was it? I think it was 9 starters on defense. I generally think they signed 9 people who could start on defense. But I know they signed 13 starter quality players. What I really like, though, is the Dolphins are completely changing their culture. Now, they traded away Minkah Fitzpatrick because he wasn't working in the system of the Patriots' defensive system that Brian Flores is running. He didn't fit. He wasn't a McCourty. He wasn't a Duron Harmon, Patrick Chung kind of safety. I think that's perfect. You get rid of the negative energy and thoughts that he was radiating off of him because he was pissed off. Since training camp, Minkah Fitzpatrick was saying stuff. You trade him away. You trade away as many parts like the left tackle. They trade away the left tackle. Can't remember his name, but he's on the Texans now. I know I'm blanking on his name right now, but it's fine. They're probably gonna do Tua Tagovailoa and then a left tackle or a left guard. They're gonna draft offensive line in the first round. This team has a potential to take over the AFC East this season. Which is, if you said this at the beginning of 2019 season, saying that in 2020 the Dolphins could be competing for the AFC East with the Bills. Insane. But I have Calvin Noy as the biggest defensive impact. I think he'll have a career year. I think he'll be in the running for Defensive Player of the Year, as I thought he should have been last season. But usually goes to a corner or a safety or a defensive end. Linebackers don't really ever get Defensive Player of the Years, which is kind of weird. But that's the video. So to go back over it, offense, I have Todd Gurley. He is in a prove it year, and the Falcons just want a 1-year deal. He wants to prove that he doesn't have arthritic knees and that he can still be an every down back. Falcons are going to use him as an every down back because they don't really care about his future. So I feel like Todd Gurley's to have over 1,000 yards, around 7 or 8 touchdowns. I'd say over 7. You know, if he had 8 or 9 touchdowns, I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to say over 7 touchdowns, over 1,000 yards. And Calvin Noy of the Miami Dolphins, because he's basically just moving from the Patriots to the Dolphins. He'll have the exact same role in the defense, the exact same leadership. He's going to bring a lot of leadership as well because he knows the system. He can then help the younger guys like Jerome Baker, Raekwon McMillan, Shaq Lawson's now there, Davin Godot and Christian Wilkins, as I have been saying. He's going to be able to bring like the knowledge of, hey, I know the inner workings of this defense. Here's what you can do to be better. I feel like that's a very, very, very important role for a young team that's developing into a potential AFC East contender this season. And honestly, he got paid really well. So, Todd Gurley for offense and Calvin Noy for defense. Thank you guys for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. I'm hopefully going to be streaming this kind of like 10, 15-minute videos a lot more often. It's hard doing 35-minute videos and like podcasts, but I like doing one-off videos, you know? So I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, consider subscribing. Hit the notification bell for the next time I stream. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.